Am I live?
You are live.
Hi, good morning. I'm coming at you today from the Aquashella Aquarium Festival. It is really cool so far. I'm really excited. Everybody's in their Halloween costumes. There's neon lights flashing all over the place. It's really distracting. I'm getting really excited. I'm talking really fast. Good morning. Thanks for stopping by. I have to find the live stream again. My YouTube crashed, and I'm going to pull it up so I can see people's chats because I can't see anything right now. So I'm going to type in Aqua Shella channel. Find it. Sorry, guys. I want to see your chats. There we go. Now I'm finding it. There are 15 people watching. Hello. I appreciate that. Turn my sound off. Okay, good morning. I'm excited to be here. I have a pretty busy day. Let's see, what am I doing? I'm doing a talk on betta breeding and genetics, or betta breeding. I hope I don't choke. I've never done like public speaking before, and I'm gonna have an audience, and it's gonna be really weird, and hopefully I don't absolutely bomb. I also am part of like an aquarium competition, so that'll be really fun. That's later today. I'm gonna be making an escape, but I'm competing against like other real aquascapers and other creators, so we'll see how I do. Yes, I have a pretty busy day, plus just doing all the fun things at the Aquashella Aquarium Festival. Hey, there's some people! Mike's Aquatics and Things says, hello, everybody. Hello. Rico Stan, hi, morning. Taylor looks and sounds good. Thanks. That's good to know. Noel, hooray, Taylor, an inspiration does work in fishy moms. Thank you. Yes, it is hard to be like a full-time mom and also do your hobby on the side. It's so hard. But thank you. I hope I can inspire other people to just keep following the things that they're interested in, even though you're so busy with little kids running around every single day. It's exhausting. Sunrise, yes. Aloha, sunrise, yes. Mike's Aquatics and Things. Love Taylor. Her vids are very entertaining. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can entertain somebody. Cryo. Oh, make sure to share Aquascapes. I absolutely will. I'm going to go do a filming session. A little bit later today, I'll go around and just get a lot of content I can film. I've already done some. Hi, Taylor. How are you? Hello, Sahir. I'm doing very well. It's early in the morning. I have my coffee right here. I'm still like only half awake, which is weird because I got a great night's sleep last night. Maybe I need some sugar. I also have a donut, a delicious Halloween donut from Dunkin' Donuts. I'm not being sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just enjoying their delicious food. I think some blood sugar. I need some blood sugar right now.
The donut looks pretty good, Taylor.
That's a really good donut.
I think I'm going to go get one real quick.
Hopefully I'm not chewing into the microphone. I'll chew over here. It's going to be such a fun day. People are going to start coming in soon, which is also very exciting. I better chew.
Yeah, if you guys are coming in today, I mean, one big thing to point out is we are actually having free donuts and coffee. So you can come in, you can enjoy a donut with Taylor, Simply Betta. Betta.
Oh, it says Simply Betta.
Our donuts are better than yours.
He just caught himself. I think I might have converted Rob from Flip Aquatics into saying Betta instead of Beta. Not many people know.
She did.
It's actually pronounced betta fish. It's actually pronounced betta fish, not beta fish. But most people know it as beta fish, so if you start calling it a betta, nobody's going to know what you're talking about. So I do it interchangeably. I'm not going to judge you if you say a beta fish instead of betta fish. It's fine, I promise. Hey, there's people messaging me. It's nighttime in Singapore right now. It's 11 p.m. Well, good night, Sahir, from Singapore. It's early in the morning here. Well, it's not early. It's just early for me. Rich T. Taylor, did you bring the cursed driftwood with you, or did it follow you there? The moment I left my house, I felt this weight just like fall off of my shoulders. I think the driftwood is pleased enough to actually stay in my home, my haunted driftwood. So guys, I have this piece of driftwood I bought last year off of eBay that looks really cool. So I bought the driftwood. I got it shipped to me because it looked really dramatic. It looked really like almost evil. Like Almost, it looked really evil. So I bought it like a genius, and this driftwood has been haunting my nightmares ever since. So I finally made an aquascape for it. Just I was trying to like please it, like maybe it could stop terrorizing me. And so far, I think it worked. I think it's happy. I think, but I'm not done yet. I still need to plant it, and I still need to actually make the tank. But it likes its hardscape. It's perched atop like this creepy cave. And if you go to my Simply Betta channel, you can actually see me make this beautiful creepy cave for my cursed driftwood. So it feels nice. I'll check out chat again. Christy, I hear Rob. Woo! Hi, Rob. People are saying hi to Rob. He's very popular. Cute Susie Q Aquatics. You're so funny. I wish I was there. Oh, it was nice seeing you last time, Susie Q Aquatics.
People are saying hi to me?
Yeah, someone said hi to you. They recognized your voice. Christy did. It's a very
Christy.
recognizable voice.
Well, hello, Christy. Thank you for being here.
Keon Lewis. Okay, I'll just travel from the UK to get a free donut. That sounds good. Let me know when you're here, okay? Can you be here like within a couple hours?
That'll be literally the most expensive donut they've ever had.
Patty's Petite Tanks. We need an Aquashella in the Northeast. Right, Susie? There's not an Aquashella in the Northeast, Rob? I guess not. There's not an Aquashella in the Northeast. It's just Chicago, Orlando, and Dallas.
Oh, what I miss?
Oh, is there an Aquashella in the Northeast?
In the Northeast?
I don't think so.
No, definitely not the
No, there's
Northeast.
not.
Yeah, the closest one would be Florida or Chicago. I mean, they're both kind of there. Not really.
All right. Mike's Aquatics says, Susie! Dan's World of Fish and More. Hello from Chicago. Hi. I want to go to the Chicago Aquashella too because Kasha from Creative Pet Keeping is from the Chicago area. She knows lots of people, and she would bring me on like an adventure to go see other people's fish rooms. I really, really appreciate when people convert entire rooms of their homes into just fish rooms where they keep fish tanks. I appreciate it. I really like it. And when I go to Chicago, I really want to see like all of her cichlid friends and their cool fish rooms. Kasha, if you're watching this, you better start planning my tour. Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo. Awesome bite on that donut. Hopefully I didn't chew into the microphone. Betta or beta depends on how long you've been into the hobby. You know, that's true. Most people, most laymen, most beginners call fish beta fish. Beta fish. When somebody says betta fish, you know that they're in serious mode about the hobby. They're saying it right. Rico Stan, yes, Northeast needs an Aquashella. Absolutely. I'd go to that. I've never been to the Northeast, so I would totally go. Not a big traveler to the United States. Never been that way. Saturday in Singapore, says Sahir. What's your time difference? Oh, so it is Saturday today, right? I'm pretty sure it's Saturday. I'm still waking up, and it's like 10 in the morning. So it's really not that early. So what's wrong with me? Why am I still only half awake? Supreme Aquaria, Wally Kern. Wally, I've been refreshing the Simply Betta channel page for 10 minutes looking for your live. I should have specified I'm not live on my channel. I am live on the Aquashella channel. Hopefully I mentioned that. I made a community post, but I put the link to the Aquashella channel. Let's see. Close is Florida. What's in your coffee? You know, I'm still waking up. Patty's Petite Tanks. So hi guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. There's a bunch of people in chat. If anybody's going to be at Aquashella today, you got to come by and say hello.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know this, Taylor's actually giving a talk today. So, Taylor, you want to give anyone a sneak peek at kind of what you're talking about? Kind of hype it up a little bit?
I'm a little nervous about my talk. I've never talked in front of people before, like an audience, and I've never really done an educational talk about breeding betta fish or beta fish. So I'll try not to absolutely choke. So
you're not gonna.
If I get up there and I just start stuttering and stammering, you know why? I think my talk's going to be on breeding betta fish, not just like actually breeding them and spawning them, but also what to look for in the parents that you choose, in the fish that you start with, like proper form, proper this, proper that, healthy fish, and the selection process to then choose what you want to spawn in your offspring. See, I'm even choking right now, starting to talk about my talk because my nerves are starting. I shouldn't do that. I should just chill out. I should just relax and enjoy my donut and coffee while I do the talk. I'm going to do a good job.
Taylor,
I'm hyping
you
myself up.
are going to do a phenomenal job because you've done so much. Like, if you guys didn't know, Taylor is a voice actor, like an official voice actor.
Yes, I am.
She is also a actual author. I had to say that right.
That is correct. I am an author. I'm a voice actor. I do voice overs. I do cartoon voice acting and anime voice acting. I have a really nice voice for it.
Do salutations for us.
Oh, I'm a little raspy today. I'll try it quietly so I don't destroy everybody's ears. Salutations!
That was so good. I love it. So if you guys didn't know, that's actually...
It was a little tiny salutations.
Yeah.
I'm in an anime called Ruby, and I'm a character named Penny, and that's what she likes to say. She likes to say salutations all the time because she's awesome.
That was awesome.
My grandma's watching right now. My grandma's watching. My Gram's in the chat. Gram. Hi, Gram.
That is awesome.
That is so cool. Hi, Grandma. It's nice that you're watching. I love you. I'm going to look at chat real fast. I am Lily Rose. Hi, Taylor. Does my fish living room count? Yes, I would call that a fish room. It's absolutely the fish living room. I'd be happy to see that someday. Noelle Brucker, is your oldest daughter interested in your fish or other pets? Does she have a favorite? Yes, she is interested. She has a crested gecko, which, it's really, I take care of it because she was only 3 when I got her crested gecko, which is really my crested gecko. But she really loves the animals. And I think pretty soon maybe she'll be ready for her first little fish tank, I think.
Taylor, we actually have some comments over on Facebook if you want me to read one to you.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Jessica Ailman said, "Hi, Taylor. Jess from Austin, Texas. Can't wait to hear what you have to share with us. See you tomorrow."
See you tomorrow.
Yeah,
awesome. So they're going to be here tomorrow. Yay! Oh, that'll be fun. I'll be here too all day long. I'll even have a silly Halloween costume. I hope a lot of people have Halloween costumes. There's even people today like running around in costumes, which is really cool. Hopefully I won't be the only dork with a costume, which I won't be. There's going to be a lot of people.
And Vina Galindo, I'm not going to try the last name because it's a big one.
Okay.
Says, hello from DFW Aquarium Association.
Oh, DFW Aquarium Association. Hello from Aquashella Aquarium Festival. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. And Wally. Thanks, Wally, for stopping by. Sahir, Lily Rose, a bunch of people in the Aquashella channel chat, which is pretty neat. Ooh. Supreme Aquaria, let's say you can only purchase one thing at Aquashella today. What are you buying? I've already bought it. I was that serious about it. I went over to the driftwood cellar and I browsed amongst all the driftwood and I chose some of my favorites. I paid special attention to make sure that I didn't bring home like a cursed object. And I don't think I did. I think I was getting really good vibes off the ones that I chose. And I'm pretty excited about it. I did that first because my mom said that she would buy me Christmas presents early this year. So I was like, okay, Mom, listen, there's some sticks I really want to buy, and there's some really cool rocks. And she was like, okay, all right, you just go pick what you want. And so I got 2 really cool pieces of wood for Christmas. I'm excited. Thanks, Mom. So that's where I've been so far. Wally.
Sahari Nazaire. Or Sahir, is that how?
I think so.
That sounds better. Sahir. I'm very bad at pronouncing
That's
things.
right. I say things wrong with confidence.
Yeah, I tried to, but then Taylor corrected me on air. So you really can't get away with it there, you know?
Well, Sahir has been around my channel for a while, so I know Sahir.
So not fish related, but are you watching any new animes lately?
Ooh, I just started. Oh my gosh, the titles are so long and I get everything mixed up. Reincarnated as a slime. Oh God, but I just started it, so I'm probably getting the title wrong. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's really popular. It's hilarious. It's adorable. I've been watching it, and that's I've been really enjoying that one. Being reincarnated as a slime. I'm getting it wrong. What's wrong with me? Don't judge me because I'm getting an anime name wrong. My brain's too full of other stuff.
Taylor, literally, you have the busiest schedule today. Why don't you just walk through with everyone what you have going on today? Because it's a lot.
I have a busy schedule. I had a 9 a.m. meeting for the Aquashella Aquascaping Competition. So we had to go get ready for that. And then I come here, I'm doing a live stream, and then I get a little break, and then I'm going and I'm doing a talk on breeding betta fish on the main stage where there's actually going to be people watching me, and hopefully I don't get super nervous because I've never public spoken before.
Well, technically, you're doing it right now. I
Yep.
mean, we have an audience here.
So.
You have speakers going out there. People are watching. And
I
you
guess
are
so.
doing a great job.
I guess it's because Rob is right over here helping guide my conversation a little bit. Can you also come over to my talk?
If you need me, I'm there.
Thanks.
I got you.
I also, and then later today, I'm doing the aquascaping competition, but it's going to be me versus a bunch of other creators and like real aquascapers. I call them big boy aquascapers, big boy, big girl aquascapers, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to fit in. But that'll be fun. And then it's going to be a community vote and I think a crowd vote who chooses their favorite aquascape. So I think I have a chance. Maybe if it's like a crowd vote. Yeah, yeah, totally. I'm going to do great. I'm pepping myself up a little bit. I got this. Carrie Phillips, Taylor's certainly possessed. Maybe I brought a little piece of the evil driftwood back with me. Rico Stan, what's the best way to reach out to you for an interview? Ooh. So one of my biggest holdups is time. Oh my God, it's just so hard to get a little tiny speck of free time. Rob can attest to this. My schedules are so full. For an interview, the best way is an email. Definitely email. Sometimes I miss my emails, but totally probably an email Rico Stan. Chevy Fish, hi. Hi, Chevy Fish. Cryo, are there any tidbits about breeding bettas that you can share here? One of the tidbits I'm going to stress when I do my talk is deciding what you want in your offspring before you choose your parent fish. A lot of people choose like, oh, I'm going to use my pet fish because I like them, and then I'm going to spawn them and have a bunch of babies. But I'm going to stress, like, if you're really going to start breeding fish, think about the result you want before you choose the parent fish, because it's really easy to make bad pairings and then get like a bunch of ugly baby fish that nobody's going to want to buy from you because they're all like clear, or they don't have a color, or their fins aren't perfect, or there's just so many other reasons. So that's one of the things I'm going to stress when I do my talk. Definitely, like, deciding what you want before you choose the parents. You don't have to do it that way. You don't have to do it that way at all. But when it comes to like a beginner starting for the first time, I would stress that, because it'd probably be a really big downer to go through all this effort and get fish that aren't the color that you were really hoping for. You know? That's probably what I would Xanadu. Go, Taylor, go! Yeah! Oh my gosh. Thanks so much, guys, for stopping by. Keon Lewis, we need the Taylor hype. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do need the hype. How long is this live stream going to be? Probably about maybe like 20 more minutes, 30 more minutes. Not super long. There's other people here on the Aquashella channel. Lots of content creators are going to be coming up and doing their own little live stream. This is just my little live stream. It's mine. It's all mine. So feel free to ask me anything.
Sorry, Taylor, I'm back.
Oh, you're fine. Nope, good. Is there any more Facebook questions? I'm just rambling right now. I'm probably going to take a bite of donut. I need more sugar.
I was literally just going to ask you, how delicious is that donut? I haven't had a chance to run over and grab one, but I'm going to be over there in a second.
I haven't had a donut for like 3 years.
You are like on a total pastry kick lately. You were telling me yesterday you had one of the best pastries of your life in the airport.
I was at the Salt Lake City airport, and there was a fancy little shop, and I got this pastry. I don't even remember its name. And it was like really big. It was the size of my head. It was so good. It was so flaky. It was so delicious. And I ate all of it. And it was big. I just ate all of it. I just wolfed it down, and then I got on my plane, and I started feeling a little plane sick. And I was really worried I'd need that little baggie in front of me.
Oh, no.
But I didn't. I pulled through. But I will say this donut's lovely, very sweet, very fluffy.
Well,
quite
Taylor,
nice.
while you take a bite of donut, what I want to do is I think that you are literally one of the busiest people that I have ever met, and I feel like I'm pretty busy. But you've written a book, you work at an art gallery, you run a YouTube channel, you're a voice actor, you're a full-time mom. Like, you do so much, and I know we even talked about your mom is kind of that way too. So like, how do you do it? Like, walk me through that.
Oh, geez, I don't know. When I decide something looks interesting, I try really hard to do that thing, even if it's just trying it. And sometimes I decide, oh, I don't really like this as much as I thought I would, and I stop doing it. But sometimes I decide I really, really like it, and I have this drive to continue. Like, I really like digital art. I have a background. I'm a 3D environment artist. I used to work in the video game and the visual effects industry. And that's something that I really, really enjoyed. I've enjoyed 3D art and video games and gaming all my life. And so I knew I wanted to go into that. And from there, I got into voice acting because I used to work at a studio called Rooster Teeth. And I tried out one day because the director of my show, Ruby, was like, but told me to, because he really liked my voice and my inflections, I guess, and my tendency to overpronunciate things. And so I got into voice acting and became super interested. That's like a side hobby of mine. And then I got into fish, and I decided I really love it. And I just tried to continue with it. And all these things that I decide I love, I try so hard to integrate into my life. And because of that, I run out of time really, really easily. But I just do that. I have this drive to do things and to create things. And like, I even wrote a book. I wrote a book called Art Prompts because I have a website called artprompts.org, not .com, artprompts.org, where it's like a prompt generator, not for writers, because usually prompt generators are for writers who have writer's block. This is for artists. So you go to artprompts.org and you can like press a button and you get this little generated prompt that you can draw. And I made a book out of it. A publisher in London approached me and wanted to make it just a cute little art book out of it. So Art Prompts, my book, it's a very kind of easy to digest how to draw book for maybe young adults or kids who are just, kind of interested and wanting to get into it. It's like how to draw people, how to proper proportions. This is how you do perspective, and it's kind of an encouraging art book. So yes, I do a lot. I do a lot of things. I also do web design and web work on the side, and it's just I don't like to stop. I don't like to stop for too long and goof off for too long or rest for too long. I like to just do things.
Well, Taylor, I apologize if you already answered this. I was kind of running around, so at these trade shows, I'm a busy man. I'm all over the place. But with your book, if you didn't answer this, what was your big inspiration for writing that book?
I did mention that I have a digital art background, and I just wanted to make a nice little book that was very encouraging. Sometimes art books can be people wanting to get into art, comic book art or manga. I think it's intimidating. It's intimidating because when you start, what you create's not going to be perfect because there's this huge learning curve when it comes to drawing and art. And I think so many people start and they're like, oh, this thing I drew, this thing I created, be it 3D or 2D or whatever, it isn't what is in my head. I feel so discouraged. I'm bad. I'm going to quit. And the whole point of my book was like, no, you're going to be bad at first, but look what happens when you practice. Look what happens when you pay really close attention to, proportions, and you just practice and repeat, and you just keep going, because pretty soon what you make will be what's in your head. And so that was my inspiration to making my little book, Art Prompts.
That's awesome. Well, we do have some questions in the comments section. So, well, first of all, I got to address Mike's Aquatics says, look at Rob being all fanboy and stuff.
Look at Rob being all fanboy. Well, vice versa, same way.
Oh, no, I don't know about all that.
Well, if I ever got to go to like the Flip Aquatics warehouses, I would probably just freak out.
Well, someday we'll get you there. Yes. Absolutely. So
there's shrimp, little tiny shrimp all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm very enthusiastic about this kind of thing.
It is amazing. Well, Taylor, Mike's Aquatics and Things asked, what is your favorite betta as far as style and color?
There are so many beautiful betta fish or betta fish if you're just stopping by. It's interchangeable. I say betta because I'm a purist.
And I'm a work in progress. I'm working on it.
He's a work in progress. It's hard to say. I have a really hard time picking out my favorites because there's so many beautiful colors. I'm very drawn to shiny colors and shiny lights. So I like pretty colors, obviously. That's like the number one thing I would say is beautiful, beautiful, colorful fish that have strong bodies and beautiful fins. That's my favorite. But lately, I've decided I have a new favorite little obsession of mine called a tancho. If you're into goldfish or koi, you might know what a tancho is. It's like a white-bodied fish with a one red dot on its head. And bettas, there's actually a tancho betta with a clear body and one single spot on its head. And it's not the most flashy little fish. It's not the most colorful little fish, but I'm really drawn to this color pattern. It's not seen very often. It's something that's very hard to breed for because, if you take two tancho bettas and you put them together, the chances of getting another tancho betta is very slim. But I've just decided because of their uncommonness and they're just that cute little dot on the top of their head, they're probably my favorite. They're like my little weird answer. That's just my favorite one. But besides the tancho betta, I really like gold, shiny, shimmery gold, and beautiful, bright colors. And fish that are healthy and have good finnage. Those are my favorites. But thanks for asking. I love talking about this kind of thing. I'm going to check out the live stream comments. Noelle, my current favorite is a sparkly galaxy koi named Peter Quill. Galaxy kois are so pretty. I love galaxy kois. Just the splotchy color, and then you get those little shiny scales. It's just the cutest. Oh my goodness. Patty's petite tanks. We need to stop the excessive fin lengths, in my opinion. Oh, I totally agree. There are varieties of fish, bettas out there called like rose tails. People are breeding for the biggest, tails, the biggest finnage because they think it's beautiful without really realizing that it really weighs down the fish. It's hard for fish to swim. And as they age, they'll probably, their fins will break, they'll start to drag, they're more prone to infections. I'm not interested in rose tails. I just like long finned fish that have really good form that they can hold up. That's not too big. I totally agree. It's kind of like breeding pugs to have shorter and shorter faces because we think it's cute. It's not necessarily good for the animal. That's my little spiel on rose tails. Dumbos, Dumbos can be okay as long as it's not like a rose-tailed Dumbo. Like I've had half-moon Dumbos, which is definitely, you can tell they have a harder time swimming, but it's not impossible. A rose-tailed Dumbo would probably be like so sad. But yeah, excessive fin lengths, not my favorite.
So Taylor, with just breeding bettas, betta. I got to get that down. Betta.
You can say beta. I won't judge.
No, I want to do it right. I don't want to do it wrong. So with breeding betta fish, what is the biggest tip that you could give somebody just get into it? Like, what's that one thing that you're like, hey, you have to do this or this works really well? Like, what would you say to that first-time betta breeder?
I guess my first tip would be to have things to feed the babies when they hatch. A lot of people start, they get lots of fry. Like, wow, I have 300 little tiny eyelash microscopic babies swimming around in my little spawning tank. What do I feed them? And at that point, it's too late because you don't have the things ready. So my biggest advice, because I get this a lot, like people saying, oh, I have a spawn. What do I feed them? Is to have things ready. Just be ready. You need to be ready for feeding these little tiny microscopic babies, which need to eat live foods. So live little microscopic foods, which I'm actually going to go over in my talk. And also being prepared to have, possibly 300 to 500 little baby fish to take care of. Being prepared for that. But the live food things is big. I get emails all the time. What do I feed my fish? They're dying because I don't have any food. You should have been ready.
Well, with the baby fish, so you said like 300 to 500 fish, which is a ton of babies. Out of that, like, what's the survival rate? Like, how many actually make it to adulthood?
It depends. My spawns usually aren't that big. Like, I've never had a spawn that has a 300 to 500 fish. I usually get like 100. I don't know why. I don't know if it's my water. I just don't know why I don't get these huge spawns. But I've heard of people getting 500 or 600 fish, which is insane to me. For survival rate, it really depends on a bunch of things. It depends on your water quality. It depends on how much you feed. Like, you have to feed them a lot, right? But are you going to be able to keep up with the water quality with all this food you're putting into the tank? There's so many different factors. It's really hard to determine survival rate. But if you're doing it perfectly, like, you might have like 300 fish to jar out at the end of everything. So with bettas, once the males get to a certain age, you have to start removing them from the rest of the spawn because they start to get very aggressive, and removing them and putting them in a separate space gives them time to grow. It improves their growth rate, improves so many things about the fish, and it's less stressful. And you give them a little place to grow out for those last 4 to 8 weeks in a container. And so are you going to be ready to have to remove a bunch of males and give them their own little space to finish growing out before you find them a new home? That's another thing to be prepared for.
So with breeding all these betta fish, do you? I mean, I know the answer, but I know a lot of people online probably don't. Do you sell them, or how can people get a hold of you if they want the babies, or
I do
different questions
sell
like
fish.
that?
I do sell fish. I have a website, simplybetta.com, where I put fish for sale. I don't always have fish for sale because it's very dependent on just what I'm able to do with my extremely busy life. Like, how many spawns was I able to do? How many fish did I really have available? And I only sell the best of my spawns. I don't just sell every single fish. I only sell the best, and the rest usually go to my local pet store. But yeah, simplybetta.com. Although I won't have any fish available until next spring, probably.
Now, is that because do you just not ship during the winter?
Yeah, shipping. I live in a really, really cold climate, and I don't like shipping in the middle of winter when it gets really cold. I just have to be really careful about it. I'm pretty good at shipping. I use insulated boxes. I use heat packs. I research the weather. I choose the shipping methods depending on how the weather looks. But it makes me uncomfortable when it's oh, it's -10. Do I really want to be shipping a tropical fish when it's -10 and just be going through that? And I choose no, not interested. I'm just going to wait till the weather looks better.
Gotcha. Well, we actually have a question over on Facebook. It says, how often, and this is from Heather Carter.
Hey, Heather.
I'm saying it with confidence. How often do you do water changes to keep water quality in check?
Oh gosh. I mean, ideally, if you really want to grow a spawn really fast and really well, you'd be doing a water change daily. Just think you have a bunch of fry in, let's just say it's a 20-gallon tank. You're trying to grow them out. You're feeding them a lot. Ideally, you'd be doing a water change every single day, right? But most people don't have that in their schedule. So a couple times a week would be good. Keep that water quality nice because you're feeding a lot. You're trying to grow these fish. When it comes to jarred fish, a lot of people don't like jarring bettas, but it's something that you have to do in the breeding process. It's just you can't get around this, having to remove the males into a separate container to finish the growing process. I would do a full water change every 2 to 3 days, which is a lot of work. And that's why I love recirculating systems. So that way your fish is always getting fresh, recirculating, filtered, heated water, and you just change out the sump. But I've had times where I actually have 100 jars that I have to meticulously maintain and constantly change out. And it's so much work. It's hours every couple of days just to take care of the water. The water quality is so important. Sometimes it's a lot of effort, which is why I love recirculating systems.
So KBT actually asked a question that follows up with this. How do you change the water with small betta fry?
Oh, with little tiny fry, I'll teach you my trick. So you have a tank. You have little microscopic babies you don't want to suck up with a hose. How do I do a water change? Well, what I recommend is actually just getting a little piece of airline, just a regular piece of airline, and get an air stone and just pop it into the end. Put that in your tank and just create a suction, just with your mouth, and start pulling the water through that air stone into the airline, and it will start dribbling out. that air stone will just make it so you can't suck up any fish because it slows down the water rate. Fish can't get sucked up into that even if they're little microscopic babies. And the water chain's going to take a while. It's going to take a while because it's just dripping out. But it's a safe way to do it. You don't have to stress about sucking up babies. That's my tip. I love that tip.
That's actually a really good tip.
It's a very good tip.
Now, with that, do you actually ever have to siphon the bottom of the aquarium?
I do siphon the bottom of my aquariums. I usually save that for when my babies are a little bit bigger. Like I'm not going to accidentally suck them up with an air hose with a little tiny air line, and they're easier to see and they're faster. I will clean the bottoms just to keep that water quality high to make sure there's no bacteria forming or ammonia spikes. I'll actually start doing it just with an air line. Like create a little siphon, just put my hand kind of in the tank and start siphoning up the mulm on the bottom just really, really carefully. So carefully, because you can suck up babies so easy.
That's really good advice. Well, Painted Tanks kind of switched it around on us, and she said that I went to Chicago Aquashella, and yesterday I was looking at flying out to Dallas. Aquashella is an absolute blast. So, Taylor, for you, what is your favorite part about Aquashella?
You know, I don't ever get to do fun things like this. Where I live, I don't have a big fish community. I don't have conventions. I don't even live close to a big aquarium store. I would have to drive for 3.5, 4 hours to get to the nearest big fish store. That doesn't include Petco. It doesn't include PetSmart. It doesn't include my local pet store, which has a little selection of fish. But seeing aquariums and seeing what I can see at Aquashella is a special occasion for me. And I love it and I relish it. And I just, this is I feel like I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation right now. And it's my perfect vacation because I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a great time. I absolutely enjoy it. Well, we have another question from Mystery Snail Guardian. Said, what snails, if any, would you recommend with betta fish?
I like ram's horn snails. Sometimes I put them in my spawning tanks or my fry tanks to make sure that they eat all the stuff that's on the bottom. Any food that the fry don't eat, I want the snails to eat. I love ram's horn snails. So many people think they're pests, but the blue and the pink ram's horn snails are cute. They're cute. I used to hate snails. I don't anymore because I've fallen in love with the blue and the pink ram's horns. Because they have the little curly Q, a little shell that has a little curly Q on it. Pink and blue. They're so sweet. I love them. Also, Malaysian trumpet snails. A lot of people think they're pests. I like them, especially in my planted tanks, because they'll go and they'll aerate the substrate a little bit and make sure that the detritus on the bottom of the tank is pretty much taken care of. I like them. Mystery snails are my favorite big snail because they come in so many cute colors, and I get really into genetics and oh, okay, well if this colors or this must be a recessive trait because I crossed this and this and I love doing that kind of thing. And I was actually really into it about mystery snails and the body colors, this and this and this about the foot color and the body color, and the shell color, and when you combine these you're gonna make this and this and this. I got really into that, but I don't currently have any mystery snails, but I want them.
Well, I know a guy.
I do know a guy who has a lot of snails. He's sitting right over there. Rob from Aquatics.
Well, Taylor, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. I'm glad that you were able to make it. And I know what you mean. It's kind of nice just to get away from the everyday. Like I said, you are one of the most busy people that I know.
Very busy.
And so getting away and being able to come and hang out with us is great. I'm excited for your talk. You're going to do great. So you need to not be nervous because you know the topic. You know betta fish so much. So you're just going to get up there and talk about what you love, and you're going to do a great job. And the people that are here to see it are going to love it.
I hope so, guys. I'm so nervous. I'm going to get squeaky. So, Rob, I have something kind of cool to tell you that Rob might not totally know is I am making my first fancy recirculating breeding system. An auto water change breeding system, I mean. It's my very first time doing something auto water change. It's something that I deserve. It's something I've been daydreaming about for years, is being able to press a button on the wall and then all this stuff happens and the water changes are done. And I'm actually working on my very first auto water change rack with 15 tanks on it for breeding bettas. And it's going to make the biggest difference, because my most valuable thing to me is time. It's my most limiting factor in my whole life is time, because of families and jobs and this, and my kids and this and my YouTube channel, and I just have so much happening. I go crazy. But with an auto water change system, I'm actually going to be able to take my hobby a lot more seriously and a lot more like to the next level. So I'm so stoked. I am so stoked about this. It's like halfway done. It's sitting in my living room. Super messy. Parts are all over the place. But I'm like this close, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm going to breed so many fish, I hope. And they're going to be beautiful.
You are going to breed tons of fish.
Yes.
And I'm jealous because I don't even have a circulating system. So
well, it's an auto water change system, not a recirculating system.
Oh,
my bad.
That's what I That's what I meant.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
So how did you do it? Because I know you talked about heated water coming in. So like, do you have an inline heater? Like, what do you got?
So for this particular rack, it's not a jarred recirculating beta system for the males that I have to remove. That is going to be a separate project in the future. This is actually a breeding rack, as in I have a big steel shelf. I have lots of little tanks on it. And in those tanks, I'm going to be growing out babies. I'm going to have like little spawn tanks. I'm going to have tanks that are full of just like hundreds, hopefully, of little tiny fry. And this is the rack that I'm making. So it's not like a recirculating beta fish system like I've had in the past. I have videos on making a recirculating beta grow out rack. I'm confusing myself with beta and beta now.
Sorry, it's definitely my fault.
It's all right. It's all right.
But
this is going to be a bunch of different tanks. It's a grow out rack. So it's a little bit different. So each tank's going to have a heater, but I don't have to worry about water changing anymore. I can just press a button and it all happens. And I'm so excited. It's like my dream come true. How many girls out there's dream is having a pretty shiny not recirculating auto water change system?
I mean, I know one. I definitely know one.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right. Well, we have one more comment for you that I agree with 100%. So Supreme Aquaria, Wally.
Ooh, hi, Wally.
Said, Taylor, your enthusiasm and passion is contagious. Thank you! An exclamation point. So I agree 100%.
My pleasure. Thank you. I can't even help myself, Wally. I can't even help myself. But thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, Taylor, any closing comments from you?
I don't think so. Should I check out the YouTube live stream?
Hey, you can do. This is your time. You do
I'm gonna
whatever
check
you
out
want.
Comments real fast and maybe answer some comments. Wild type bettas. What's the next one you'll be bringing into the Simply Betta fish room? I'm working on an extremely critically threatened species called Betta api api. They're a very, very tiny red wild species of betta. Betta fish, it's not just like one domestic species like we see in the fish store. It's actually a complex. It's a fairly large group of fish, and there's a lot of different wild species, and some of them are really threatened right now with habitat loss. And I'm going to be working with a little tiny red fish, very, very cute, called Betta api api, and setting up like 7 different spawn tanks to try to distribute this fish as far and wide as I can, because I feel I love it. I've had these fish for a couple of years now, and I've just never shared them on my channel because that's what I do. I do cool things, and then I just don't share them. So I'm going to be sharing these guys and hopefully distributing them far and wide to make sure that the species is well established in other people's aquariums. And I'm also going to be working more with Betta chenoides, it's a fairly small wild species that's a mouth brooder. It's a mouth brooding beta. So if they spawn, the male actually takes the eggs into his mouth and he incubates them. He takes care of them for weeks, and they slowly develop in his mouth, and then he releases them when they're free swimming fry. And I just think mouth brooding fish are so cool. They're so cool. And I'm going to be doing Betta chenoides, which is another wild species. So hopefully I'll be able to distribute more chenoides pairs far and wide as well. So I love those guys, and that'll be really, really fun. Checking out some more comments. Oh, there's all kind. I've missed so many.
Well, Taylor, You turned me into a donut eater.
Yeah?
It looks so good up there
Oh,
that
cool.
I had to go
It's
get
really
one.
tasty. It's delicious. I will eat the rest when my live stream's over, so you don't get to hear me chew donuts into the microphone. Chewing noises are I have a hard time. Very, very hard time with that. My family can attest.
Are
So-
you saying that you chew loud?
No,
Or-
I'm saying I have very sensitive ears, kind of like a chihuahua. And if I hear chewing noises, it's like I get like this physical reaction. It makes me like tense up, right? It's like I can't do it. It's like I get stressed out just listening to.
Just to make sure you're not hearing me chew right now, are you?
I'm not. Don't be self-conscious.
Oh my god.
I was
Okay,
feeling
good.
self-conscious about myself. Like it's that much of a problem for me. I was self-conscious about myself eating into the microphone because I feel bad for you guys if you have to listen to that. Oh
You
my
learn something
gosh.
new every day.
Learn something new
Only
every day.
here at Aquashella.
And my family, if they're watching this, will probably just be like, mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Halloween is tomorrow, and I'm actually going to be wearing a costume. I'm going to be a skeleton, and I'm going to be specifically a rave skeleton. So I'm going to have UV paint, a little bit of UV paint on me. I'm going to have like obnoxious, flashy glasses and LED lights and light up shoes, and it's going to be fun. That's my costume. So come see me tomorrow.
You wanna guess what my costume is?
I'm guessing a shrimp of some kind of crustacean.
It is a shrimp. You're so good.
Yes, I'm so good at
You're
this.
So good.
Noelle says misophonia. I have that as well. I can empathize with you. You can empathize with me then. A lot of people have it.
I love it. Well, Taylor, we do have to wrap up.
All right.
So why don't you give us our closing remarks and give a little shout out to everyone watching?
Closing remarks. Aquashella Aquarium Festival is a lot of fun so far. People are filtering in. It's getting busy, and I'm gonna go on a little adventure, and I'm excited to go see everything and all the events happening. So anybody who is maybe stop by, should definitely come say hi. Come say hi. I'm gonna do my talk today at 1. It's just like in a couple hours. And you want to come see me choke? You want to come see me get nervous on stage? Come see me. Come watch me. It'll be fun. Thanks so much for stopping by to the live stream, guys. I appreciate it. To all the people who came in from like Twitter and Facebook and all the different places. Thank you. That's all.